Hi, and welcome back to Black Magic Beauty. My name is Trish. This is going to be my 2025 intro for Pan That Palette. Now, the last couple of years, I have been following the Pan That Palette theme that was voted on by the Fantastic Ladies Facebook group, and this year I'm doing the same thing. This year, they voted on the theme Old Faithful, which is essentially just any palette that you have in your collection that is tried and true. You've used it before, you're fairly familiar with it, and you know what works well for you, which is a huge breath of fresh air considering last year I was basically hate panning just a little quad all year because I picked the quad thinking doing a quad would be easy, but then I realized that all of the colors were so wrong for me that it was horrible. So this is kind of a breath of fresh air to be able to pick something that I know I already like and I know I enjoy. I've had it in projects before. So the palette I picked for this year is Natasha Denona Glam Palette, which is basically just a nice little, mostly cool toned neutrals palette. And I think this is really not only going to be perfect for the theme because I've used it a bunch before. I've actually had it in a project before. I wasn't able to actually hit pan on anything, but I was working on it. And I just know it's a really easy palette to just reach for and do a quick neutral look, which I think I'm really going to need this year because I'm obviously going to be having a baby very soon. I'm due for an induction in about 4 days. Which means I am not only going to have a newborn, but in a couple of months I'm going back to work. So I'm going to be juggling both of those things. And I just really need to be able to simplify my routine on those really busy mornings. As much as I love fun, colorful makeup looks, realistically, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of that happening this year unless it's just like a quick lid shimmer that I'm putting on with a neutral. Nothing like extravagant because I'm just not going to have the time to do that. So this is kind of perfect. I do not expect to be able to fully pan this palette this year. I have never been able to fully pan a palette, and I think part of that is just the fact that I enjoy variety too much. So even if I'm focusing in on one palette more than the other palettes that I have, I'm going to be pulling in other things to work on at the same time or just to get a little bit of a different look. I think I probably would be able to pan this palette fully this year if this was literally the only palette I was using for the entire year, but that's just not how I do things. So what I'm kind of thinking for my goal for this, because you can see I've got some dips going in a few of these, but it's not like super used at this point, just because I've been working on other things. The only shades that I don't think I'm really going to touch too much of is probably this like warmer brown, this black, and maybe this like warmer gold. So those three, I think I'm probably not really going to be using too much of. When it comes to everything else, I'm really hoping to maybe be able to like fully pan these two shades here and then hit pan in like a bunch of the other shades. So we'll see what I can do with this, but it'll be exciting to pull this back in and get some more use out of it because I honestly haven't really touched this very much in the past year because I was focusing so much on the other items that I had that I honestly didn't even really like that much. I was just trying to get them out. So I'm really excited for this to be my kind of tried and true default palette this year. I think I'm going to be able to finish up quite a bit of it. And it'll just be nice to get some more use out of it. So that's going to be my Pan That palette this year. Stay tuned for next month when I update my progress with it. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, Happy New Year. Bye-bye.